This world we live in is a hell realm. Conscious life is based on suffering, avoiding it, and enduring it. It's also becoming increasingly obvious that there is no verifiable objective meaning to life. We either have to create our own meaning or subscribe to meanings that other people have created, such as religions or political movements. But personally, I think it's actually better that life in this world is pointless, because there's no way any so-called higher purpose or greater purpose could justify all the evil that goes on here. That said, we are all fellow sufferers in this hell realm. Some suffer more, some suffer less, but we all have to find ways to cope with living in this world. Some people might choose the ascetic route and deprive themselves of pleasures and joys in life, perhaps for some kind of higher spiritual goal or something like that. I don't really blame people for becoming religious or spiritual, although I don't agree with it, and personally it didn't help me when I tried it out, but I do understand it, and I think it's acceptable as long as these beliefs don't cause someone to go out of their way to harm others. If you want to go the hedonist route, that's understandable too, enjoying sensual things or food and alcohol or perhaps some other recreational substances or all of the above. Some people need that to take the edge off and cope, although I would urge some restraint, because it's possible to burn out your dopamine receptors and then suffer from anhedonia or a lack of pleasure. Then there are those who want to opt out or exit this reality. Again, it's perfectly understandable and I don't judge people for having these desires. However, I wouldn't recommend it, because most of the methods available today are crude and painful and prone to failure. You could mess up and become disfigured or crippled, for example, and that could reduce your quality of life even more. However, I would say that we don't know the true nature of this reality. I have been in life-threatening situations that I shouldn't logically have survived, but I am still here today. I have heard of people who have tried to exit up to 12 times and failed every time. I know of one person who ingested twice the lethal dose of a substance but survived, and they didn't even need medical attention. There could be some unknown spiritual forces that may intervene in some cases, or perhaps something like quantum immortality is true. In quantum immortality, there could be multiple universes for every possible outcome. So if a person ends up in a car accident and dies from the perspective of the observer, they may still survive from their own perspective in a different universe of this multiverse. We just have to do what we must to cope with living in this reality. There is no absolutely right way to do it, but I would like to make some suggestions. One thing I think everyone should do is try to generally reduce harm or suffering within reason. Don't go out of your way to harm others, human or animal, and offer some help even if it costs you a little bit. We may not be able to reduce the net suffering of the world, but I think doing something in some circumstances is reasonable, and of course, if it happens to us, we would appreciate it as well. That said, trying to be some super saint may cause you harm as well, and you are no more or less deserving of comfort or help than anyone else. One thing I would advise people to avoid doing is reproducing. Don't force another soul into this hell realm to suffer and die. If you are already a parent, then take care of your children. That's the second best thing you can do. Consider it a sacred mission. Remember to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And see you in the next video. Okay, thanks, bye.